What's up, everybody? Welcome back. So remember when I said they needed something else done? It was a tub, another one. And for that dot right there, the little chip, because of it, they want it completely done. As you can see, the time is 12:39. So I took a 30-minute lunch. It took about 10 minutes to get the keys for it. And this is a pretty full day, 2 tubs in one day. I don't get them often, probably about once or twice a week. But it's a nice little change of pace, slow me down, make me, keep me on my toes. And this looks like a repeat of part 1, the video. It looks like I actually just replayed part 1. But truth of the matter is that I do this exactly the same. This is how I keep my speed. Nothing ever changes. And I just get faster at it because I know exactly what I'm gonna do next and no time is wasted. This is part of my training. I try to explain to the guys, if you want, you can just keep doing the same thing over and over again, even if it's not in the manner that I do it, but if you do it the same way every single time, you're just naturally gonna get faster at it, just as long as you don't change anything. So first things first, bring my bag in and I etch the tub. This will take the glaze off, the original glaze, and you see I use the brush to be careful not to hit the tile. And after about 15 minutes, I brought all my stuff in and I started setting up my ventilator and my compressor, and I ran the hose out the window. By that time, it was time to wash it off. And basically just run some hot water with a rag and wipe it down. Now remember what I said, this was $500 for a tub at this company, I get for this company. So after the end of the day, that's $1,000. Of course, it's not all mine. I have, bills and cost of the materials and insurance and things like that. But in all, it's $1,000 day, and I'm not working a 12-hour shift for $1,000. So here I'm just washing it down just as before, and then I'm gonna dry it out. Just wipe it down pretty quick with a paper towel. Definitely get the floor first so you don't get your pants wet, and wipe it down. Oh, right here I'm filling in the chip with the little Bondo. It's nothing special, just a little Bondo, a little hardener, and use a razor blade. I don't even have to sand it. It's just such a small chip. I just mix it and then just put it on there nice and smooth, level with the chip. And I let that thing just dry out while I set up the rest of my stuff. That's pretty much it. Now what you'll find on this video is, that was different from the other videos, how much trash I end up with at the end of the day, and how long it actually took me to do 2 tubs, actual working hours. Now there have been times where I do 2 tubs and it takes me longer. Why? Because there's a 30-minute drive in between. Maybe I hit some traffic or something like that, but everything's the same. If you play both videos on 2 different windows, you'll see that I did it exactly the same. I do the shower head, I do the faucet handle so I don't accidentally kick the water on, and then I do the faucet and the overflow. And then after the overflow, I run my caulking line around the tub, which I mentioned before is the most important line to run when doing this, so that you get a nice caulk line. The only time I don't concern myself with that is there are a couple contracts that I do have that they don't want me to use my caulking. They want to use their own special caulking. They use some really expensive stuff, and they like working with that. They trust that. They don't have to worry about molding or anything like that. So there I go again. I'm running my caulk line tape. I don't know what you would call it, but my guide. And then after that, I gotta get my best buddy, my 3M paper masking machine. I can't stress this enough. This is the way to do the jobs fast. And once you get used to doing this, I promise you, once you learn how to use this, it's a game changer. Don't let anybody tell you. Anybody in the comments says it's crap, it's not worth it. It's $30, man. It's so worth it. And this is on a small job. When you're doing a full bathroom, man, it's nice to run that thing over all the tile really fast. It's just, it can't compare to trying to hold that roll of paper and rip it and then hold it up and then put some tape on it. And then it's just, I mean, it goes without saying. Try both ways and you'll see. Save your receipt. If you think it's not worth buying that tool, try it. If you don't, return it. I mean, just try it once and you'll see you just move way faster. In fact, I've had the guys actually purchase the tool, try it for a week, return it, and then realizing like, wow, I'm moving much slower without this. I gotta go back and buy it. That's how good that is. So after masking off, I usually run some plastic with tape, the 3M plastic. It has a small strip of like an inch of blue tape over the mirror and the vanity. And I use that to just toss my trash. Move pretty easy that way. And then at the end of the job, I just pull that plastic down and wrap it up, and I don't have to worry about any liquid or any paint drips or anything on there. But I mean, I'm sorry there isn't much else to explain or any secret stuff. It really is this simple to do this business. I mean, a couple $1,000s for some supplies and startup paint, and believe me, if you get 3 or 4 jobs in 1 week, you will have your money back from what you spent. I think the most important thing is to have insurance. I know here where I'm at, I do the housing authority, which is a huge contract. And yes, it's in the hood, but I don't have to do all the properties. I can pick and choose whichever properties I want. I have to carry a ghost policy for workman's comp. So even though I don't have any employees, I still have to pay for workman's comp. In case, the reason for that is for them to protect themselves. In case I were just to show up with a helper, they know that they don't have to be concerned about that helper getting injured out on the job and being sued by them. They can just sue me. So it just comes with that. Right here, what I'm putting down, I forgot to show you in the last video, is an adhesive promoter. It's something I put on before I put on the primer. It's just another helper to just bond it even stronger. It's just a quick wipe down and dry. And that's pretty much it. Now it's time to put the primer on. Now keep in mind exactly how I run my coats, vertical and horizontal, and from left to right or right to left. That's not too concerning. I just can't do the same on the second coat, because if you miss on one way, you're gonna miss if you try and spray it in the same direction. You're gonna miss in the same spots, and you have to avoid trying to get those zebra lines, as we call them, zebra marks. You'll just see little zebra lines throughout the tub, and you won't know why, and that's what it is. It'll just spray heavier in certain spots than others. And after putting on the first coat, again, I just rig it to blow some air on there. And that's it. Let it wait for a few minutes and come back, do the magic of editing. And I put on my second coat of primer, and that's pretty much it. It's 2 coats of primer and 2 coats of the top white clear coat. And the only time I use more than that is color changes, but white on white, I just put 2 coats is plenty. When I get a bisque or yellow or beige tub, then yes, it's gonna require 3 coats of primer. Now, put that hose down. I tape it down because I'm gonna be a minute. This is second coat. I need it to really tack up and dry pretty good. And this time I'll take to clean my guns. Now I did move really fast on that. That was just me editing the video. But I was literally out there 15 minutes cleaning my gun, having a drink, and just hanging out, listening to music. And now I'm just putting on my top coat. I mean, you can tell it's a little bit shinier. I don't know if you could tell it's a little bit whiter. and it's a little bit more dusty, I guess you could say. It's more potent. So as I'm spraying, you'll see what looks like smoke, but it's overspray. Right behind me, that yellow thing, that's my ventilator. I try to keep that as close to the tub as possible. And as you can see, I just had it laid out there, blowing air, and now I'm just putting on my second coat. I mean, there's nothing to it. There really isn't anything to it. The only thing that I could only imagine that people aren't doing this after watching this video is fear. That's all it is. You just have a fear of leaving your job. But if that's the case, you could at least watch these videos and learn how it's supposed to be done and get a job doing this. It actually pays pretty decent. They might work you to death though, but it does pay decent. I've done it in 3 states, and in all 3 states it pays pretty good. And that's it. In reverse order, I just peel the paper back, and that's pretty much it. I put my caulk line down just as before. I kind of feel weird. I'm repeating myself. There is nothing to it. The only thing that's going to change this is doing it different every single time. But if you do it the same, no matter which way the tub is facing, just do it exactly the same, you're going to pick up speed. And you don't want to go fast, but you don't want to keep stopping. And if you go too fast, you're going to make mistakes. So the best thing is to just be quick about what you're doing, but good at it, because you do it exactly the same every single day. I mean, people really don't understand. There's my trash and there's the plastic as I showed you before. And I just take that, tear it down and cover it up, and it goes in the bag. That's it. That's all the garbage I have for the day. Well, 2 of them because I had the other apartment, but that doesn't go in my car. I mean, it gets dumped in the dumpster. It weighs nothing, maybe a pound. Now let's go see how long it took me to do this. You can see, nice. All this for that spot there on the left. And how long did it take? 2:48. So basically, it took me 1 hour and 10 minutes. And the other one took me 2 hours. I mean, 2 hours and 10 minutes. And the other one's 2 hours. So 4 hours, let's say 4.5 hours if you want to count the lunch. $1,000. I mean, you can't beat that anywhere. This is no website setup or anything like that. It's just straight up blue collar work, $1,000 a day.